Hello everyone, Sons and Duck 2, welcome to another mod overview, this time on Weapon Throw. A mod that simply adds the ability for you to throw axes and swords, and is useful for finishing off mobs, or just having fun throwing them. So, you've got pretty much 3 different types of enchantments, which we'll get into. Using fire aspect on weapons will light enemies on fire. There is throwing physics, and you can configure Despawn Timer as well. And there is also a throw keybinding as well if you want to configure that. Holding keybinding adds more power to it, similar to obviously holding down a bow. So let's see, so we get a look at the keybinding, because I actually don't know besides what's already listed there. So Alt and Q, so I may or may not be able to use that. Can I just use something like comma? Yes I can. Just simplify it with less keys. Okay, so we'll check what's available. So we've got throw on both the, only on the sword. We go to grounded edge, that doesn't work. It does on the sword. And if we go with concussion, my guess is that does, no? I guess it only works on the swords? That's very strange. I wonder why it says it can work on both. I assume you can throw these. But, and again, do you need the enchantment throw? It's very strange. Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll take a look. We'll at least do it with the swords, because we know those enchantments work, but other than that, you know, we'll find out. So we'll just go, for example, comma. I can throw it without the enchantment, so you don't need to use the enchantment. And it does provide durability to the weapon. Okay, so it only uses one, so that's fine. So we'll test this on some mobs in particular, and I don't know if it's going to deliver similar damage to what it already does or not, but we'll take a look. And we are peaceful, just want to make sure. So we just go, for example, and use the keybinding, we can do that, and we can do that, and we can use this, and we can just keep throwing. I assume axes are probably going to be fairly similar. I assume it doesn't do that much damage then. Ah, okay, so I'm assuming the throw enchantment's actually for delivering more damage to them. So that was not that effective, obviously, as we can tell, just with typical throws. But if we just sort of tell them to go away for a minute or two, we can actually get our weapons going. So let's see. So we'll try with throw 1, and we'll just keep adding more of these, of course, over time. So we've got those. We'll just get rid of the axes, because we don't really need them for the enchantments here. Oop. I forget there's a, between selecting things in GEI and in the inventory, sort of extra click I need to do, so we'll just move those out. Okay, so we'll need then, actually I'll go with diamond, just to separate them so I can tell what I'm doing. Okay, and the damage difference won't be too much, I assume. I probably should have put in meat, but I didn't think about it. Oh, sorry, this is forge, so I should say, whatever it's called, I've forgotten now. The equivalent. But yeah, so we'll just do that, and then we'll just test what they're capable of. So we'll do this. And we'll go back to time of day. Okay, so we'll just do comma. And pick it up. Oh, what? Oh, I forgot to do time set 9. Oops. I got a carrot out of it, that's something which we need for food. Okay. Apples. We'll just do that. Or I could just get armor, but either way. Anyways, so zombie will go throw that at you. We'll just pick this up and we'll throw it at you again. And keep throwing. And I assume we'll do initial continuous damage to them. Where's the sword now? Oh, there we go. So I assume it's like 1 additional damage to it. It's not that much better, but it's still not half bad. So we'll just move on, of course, to this one. And I'll obviously keep throwing it back to me, or not. Okay, so that's fine. The fact that I have a specific key binding does help, but it kind of doesn't at the same time, when I could just do the other. Right, so we'll just do... Oop, where do my apples go? Yeah. But yeah, we'll obviously try and let the actual holding it down as well, and just see what we get with like typical throwing damage. So, if we can. So we'll just do that, because I'm just curious if it will make any difference or not. Yep, hello. Okay, so there's that. We'll just get rid of the rest of them because they're just going to be annoying. Even though they are technically still kind of zombies. Anyways, though, so there is that. Increases throwing damage. Yep. So only by like probably one, similar to, or a bit similar to sharpness. Now, if we try actually with holding this down, we can see how much of a difference we can make. Hopefully. So in about maybe 4 hits, I assume. Oh, then we're done for. Ah well. Where did I go with that one? I don't think I went too far. I should obviously just put armor on, but where are we? Here we go. We'll just do this with creative, of course, make it easier. Alright. So, which is... we'll do throw 3 for the rest of this. Because why not? So let's see. I'll just get rid of you then, that's fine. So we'll just do this. We'll hold it down, and we can see there's a mining fatigue or slowness effect, more and more. And that's the maximum, so if we throw that now, and then we keep going, and going, and going, going, the FOV going in further, and then I can, oop, a bit too far. Okay, so it is definitely doing something. And I can move, of course, while throwing. Okay, so it is still taking a bit, so it increases throwing damage, but not by a lot, even with the other. Interesting, so if I take you down now, okay, so probably they were almost defeated, so that's not too bad. Next, of course, we'll move to the other, which is weakness, and you've got nausea and slowness on them. So we'll just try with those now. And while we're at it, can we actually combine not only just the swords, but the enchantments? Yes, I assume we can. So we'll just go concussion. Yes, and what was the other one again? Grounded edge. Okay, so you can use all 3 enchantments on one another, I assume. So that's fine. There's a bunch of those which you don't need. Cool. We'll move to the others. So we've got concussion, of course, which we'll just throw at them. So we've got the nausea and slowness effect there, which isn't going to do much, obviously, nausea-wise, but slowness is. I don't know if just holding down the throw really changes anything. For the slowness effect that they're being applied? No, okay, so it just seems to be the same, it's just for the fact that you have the ability for it to apply to them by thrown. But concussion 2 obviously is the level that will improve that with it lasting longer, or giving a more stronger effect, of course. I don't know by how much they have the effect. So we'll just go, say, here and throw it on ourselves and see what happens. And that didn't seem to do anything. Okay, so we can't find out ourselves, we'd actually have to try out on a player or something else. And finally we have Grounded Edge, which obviously, let's see, so I'll just throw this at you, is weakness. Damage from now is going to probably do a fair amount of damage, a fair amount less damage to us. So just go into survival, for example. Oops, and not put that many eyes on these. Where are you? So you're doing that much to me already. If I use this on you, how much are you going to affect me? Not at all. Okay, so they pretty much can be almost unable to do any damage to, I assume. That's useful. If you have the maximum, of course, which I don't know how much of an equivalent that is for weakness, where you can't do any damage at all, or near any damage. So that's quite useful. We'll actually also test Enderman and see if you can actually throw these, or if it's not the same as a bow, where it's just like, obviously the arrows don't work. Oop, missed. Come on. Yeah, okay, so Endermen are also affected and they don't like it. Okay, fair enough. Just wanted to make sure if it's still counted as a projectile that would be counted by them. That's good to know. Other than that though, I think that's about it. There is just obviously the physics, which we've already checked out. We already know that they can go on fire. So we'll just go fire aspect on the sword. And we'll just throw it normally, of course. Because why not? Because we know we can already throw it. We don't need the other enchantments to really assist with that. So we'll just do this. Okay, so we'll just go on the skeleton, light them on fire. Or not. Okay, the zombie is now. Cool. Alright, so that definitely does work. And then I guess that's it. The final other thing, of course, is the Despawn Timer. So if you have a sword or axe that's been thrown in the world and you haven't picked it up yet, that's how long it'll take before it despawns. My guess is that means it's in ticks, so it's, I assume, 1200 ticks rather than 1200 seconds. But that's just a guess as well. And yeah. Oh, and there's also a cost of absorption where you're holding it down more because of, which obviously shows the mining fatigue or slowness effect. So yeah. Thanks so much for watching though, and goodbye.